Mike Gill, how many of you remember the series Luck? Well, the name of this video is Bad Luck. Bad luck for them. And I'll explain. Here's why did the series fail its first hurdle? HBO cancels Luck. Ugly side of racing. I'm in these articles. In fact, I guess they're pointing to me as the ugly side. Well, what if I told you the truth is so much beyond the series itself? You've got organized crime, I got it too. Legal betting, we're together. Drugs, right. Yeah, but I've got politicians that are corrupt. I got an FBI cover-up. Gotcha. How's that for a truth? And you know what? They got you too. How do you know you didn't get taken out because you were getting too close to the dark side of racing? Me, and you know no horses got hurt on this show, right? You guys have said that. You even said, not even a goldfish. Not even a gill of a goldfish. Right. All right. So how did they take you out? And they take me at the same time. All right? I'm going to step you through. You're going to have no doubt at the end of this. You're going to have no doubt of the size of the criminality of I'm talking about. We all have got to start waking up. And we all have to start making choices. Now, I'll explain that. But you got to grow a little courage here. All right. Let's start by this. Ray Pollock. Media. What you've got to do is attack the credibility of the person. Ray Pollock's up for the job. And he cut the legs off of HBO too. You ready? Who is Ray Pollock? Any organization like this has to cut you up because people don't listen to who they don't trust or they're on. But that is the scam. Ray Pollock. We've gone back and forth a little bit on blog. Maybe you've seen it. Where Ray Pollock turns around and says, oh, I don't know. Mike Gill doesn't even know how to spell my name. There's no illegal gambling. Oh, yeah? How about this, Ray? You turned around and said somebody must be pulling my leg when it comes to the text messages. You know, the ones that threaten to murder my children. Right. That has Lisa Tracy on it. We'll get to that. Right, Bruce? But you think that's amusing? The corruption in the courts, you did read them. You had your name in it. I was right about Ray Pollock. You know what I was saying, Ray? That you were working for Penn National. You were cutting our throats. And at the same time, took out HBO. Remember the articles? Why don't you tell people, well, let's find out, who is Ray Pollock? For us to take your word for it. I say you're a guy who's taking money from the racetracks. And you're pretty much going to write everything they want to. And I'm going to time you in with some other criminals. But, Ray, aren't you a crack addict? Right. Now that seemed a little harsh to people, but he was. And I say he still might be. He got it right in here, Ray. When you were accused, and your nickname, I guess, was Ray Crackpipe Pollock. But you did have a rebuttal. Quite clever, I guess. I readily admit recovery from a recovering drug addict. It did not and has never involved a crack pipe. And then you suggest that the guy never lets the truth get in his way. Oh, I'm sorry. So you didn't use a crack pipe. What did you use? So can we trust somebody who is a drug addict, who might be a gambling addict? You did get fired for drugs too, right? This is the guy that closes a series? This is the guy who puts me out of business? Please, you are exactly who I said you are. I got more proof. And you know what? I hear you found Jesus. I just talked to him. He doesn't know where you are, but I did talk to your drug dealer. You don't believe me? One last thing. Laughing Moon, remember, That went everywhere. It's referred to in the HBO article about closing it down. My last horse that broke its leg. Well, what you forgot to tell the people was he stepped in a hole that Penn National knew about. In fact, they had a meeting with the jockeys. Right. And said, if Gil finds out about that hole, none of you race here. Oh, you find that hard to believe? Well, someone did tell me. She was only the president of the union, Christina Mackingale. She told me about that meeting. See? I hope you paid attention, HBO. You got shut down on a lie. All right. Now let's do something nobody's done before. Got inside of Penn National. I told you they were part of this. I told you they knew about the gambling syndicate. How could it be? The FBI let them get a license in Massachusetts. And what's the bet they have a license right now in New Hampshire? You know, that's how they get it. They pay the politicians. Wow. You guys wouldn't believe me on it. All these judges and politicians, how's it possible? I don't know. Ask Kathleen Kane, Pennsylvania. She might tell you. But I'm going to help you out, Kathleen. Ready? Jeff Castle. Jeff Castle is the commission track site manager during this whole time of what happened in 2010. I talked to him last night. But I've talked to the people that he has spoken to. Now, you'd be surprised what I found out from the informants of Jeff Castle and then just Castle himself. Now listen, Jeff, I know you didn't want me to go public, but you know I knew the information before you told me. You were hired by the people of Pennsylvania to represent the commission and the integrity of racing at Penn National. Now, you're saying you couldn't do your job, and that you're trying to do it now. Well, it's time right now to show a little courage and come forwards. I didn't tell you I wasn't going to say this. This is beyond you, and this is beyond me. This has a greater importance. So, Jeff, you had informants coming to you. I know them and you know who they are. And they told you of the gambling ring, of all the corruption. We did talk last night. And guess what? You went to the commission. You're on it. You're going to get this syndicate closed down. Except for they told you to go away now, didn't they? In fact, didn't Penn National come to you to shut up? That you better not see a word. Now, it wasn't just Penn National. And for any of you who says, I don't name names, listen, I'm the guy that does. So let's start. Jeff Castle, management of Penn National comes to him. Not just any management, you ready? Christopher McGurlin, the vice president of Penn Gaming and Racing. You could say the number 2 guy. And Mark Lowey, director of racing operations. He could be considered the 3rd guy, the highest position inside of Penn National, who's coming in to the commission site management, Jeff Castle, almost daily, and threatening him if he investigates this, he's going to lose his job with the commission. What? That's his job. First of all, it's not your place to threaten him. He works for the state. Except for when, Jeff, you went to the commission, they threatened your job too. In fact, Ray Stefano, the executive secretary, said shut it down. You're bumping in criminality that you have no idea. George Augusto, the attorney for the commission, you might remember. I put it in my statement almost 3 years ago. It'll be attached, where I called Augusto to say he was queuing in each commissioner And he must be working for Penn National and controlling this commission. Well, according to Jeff, that's exactly what he is and what he does. Let's not forget who he is, Jeff Castle. He's inside security of the commission on site. Got it? So inside Penn National knew of the corruption because they were involved in it. They knew the gambling syndicate. Remember? Ronnie Brown ran the syndicate. He had fundraisers for politicians. They ran a gambling syndicate. It was Kulog. Remember Kulog? Kulog was the Jocks agents. He controlled Willie Otero and Dana Whitney and Clifton. They had to get me out because I wouldn't allow them to pull horses. Now, there's certain things that I found out that I didn't know. One of which, one of my trainers, Tony Adamo, we sued the jockeys. We sued the commission. Last day with the jockeys, he's out of the case. So is Pincus, who I find out now works for Penn National. That's how they cover it up. And Tony got recruited in the gambling syndicate. It turns out the guy with the most horses in the country was a valuable commodity to cheating. More opportunities. And I would put them each and every one where they would win. That I didn't find out till recently. Hey, Bruce, that was on you. When you had Dutrow call me up and told me that Lake was involved in the syndicate and Tony was. That was the first time I heard that. But it certainly completes the puzzle now, don't it? So let's not forget now, we have Penn National front and center, where a commissioner turns around and say they covered up. In fact, Jeff Castle went on to say, Bruce Dupay of the FBI, oh, I'm not done with you, here we go. That not only are you making everyone fearful in this cover-up, but you told Jeff Castle, this is going to take a lot longer than we thought. We're bumping into some very important people. You bet your ass you are, and that's exactly what's happening, and it's exactly why you're trying to cover it up now. Oh, Bruce, you want some questions to ask Lisa Tracy? Remember, she's referenced on the text message to threaten my kids. This is the same person that said Lisa Tracy was a spy, and was destroying evidence, and was being leveraged with the Shaheens regarding her children. Bill Shaheen. You may have heard of Jean Shaheen, the new senator of New Hampshire. Why do you think she's important? She could send them to jail. We don't want to go to jail. We want a casino license now, don't we? Now, who's in better position to get you a casino license than Jean Shaheen and her crony, the Governor Hassan? Right. It's all business. Now, you got a better explanation why Lisa's on this? For all you doubters that they're not talking? That means they are. Now, I'm attaching this statement, again, that was done in May of 2012. When I tried to tell you that, who do I mention that's corrupt? Kulog? Clifton? Otero? The Racing Commission. Who did I say? Did I not tell you Augusto was queuing them all in? Did I not tell you Christopher McGurley was coordinating that from Penn National? Now, what did you find that I put in this that today is untrue? And if everything I put in this is true, then you know that I have to be right about moving forwards. Listen, you know what I said about Kathleen Kane? When you hear the truth, don't you know the difference? What she's saying is the truth. In fact, the jockeys offered me money. Why don't you ask them? I said, no, it was never about money. Right. I turned around and told those jockeys if they testified in that court, they'd be in jail when this all came down. That's why I dropped the lawsuit. I didn't want their money. I wanted the truth. Well, now you're getting the truth one more time. Now you got to make a decision what you're going to do. Are you going to let this happen? And trust me, it's going to happen in Massachusetts. I hope you're paying attention. And it's probably already happened in New Hampshire. But is that who's going to be running our state? Running our lives? You got to make a decision. You got to make it now. Because I don't know how many people are going to come forward to save your ass. Because you're a hard group of people to like. All right, thank you.